Once upon a time, in a small but flourishing town near Accra, lived Ama and Kwesi, a couple well known and respected not just for their wealth, but for their charitable works. For 9 years, they had been happily married and admired by all in their community. Yet, despite their success, their home echoed with the silence of a missing joy. They had no children. On their 10th anniversary, Kwesi, troubled by the continuation of his lineage, decided to take a second wife. Despite Ama's understanding of nature, this suggestion of polygamy broke her heart. With tears brimming in her eyes, she pleaded with him,
"Please, my husband, give us a bit more time. I feel that our ancestors are about to bless us soon."
But Kwesi, though he loved Ama deeply, was adamant.
My love, it's not just about us anymore. Think about who will inherit all that we've built when we are gone.
Unable to sway her husband's decision, Ama proposed a condition.
"If you are to marry another, let me choose who it will be. It must be someone who will respect our home and values."
Kwesi agreed, grateful for her understanding. Ama thought of her childhood friend Efua, who was kind-hearted and wise. The next day, she visited Efua to discuss her proposition, but to Ama's surprise, Efua vehemently refused.
"How can you ask this of me, Ama? I am soon to be engaged to Kofi, and even if not, it would feel like betraying our friendship to marry Kwesi."
Tears streamed down Ama's cheeks as she pleaded with Efua, but Efua's heart was firm. Desperate, Ama whispered a secret into the night air, one that could destroy Efua's life.
"If you do not accept, I will have no choice but to reveal that you come from the tabooed ones, those exiled from our lands long ago."
Efua, shocked and hurt by Ama's threat, knew the gravity of such a secret. The tabooed ones were descendants of a cursed lineage, believed to bring misfortune. They were ostracized, living on the fringes of society. Efua's family had hidden their past and integrated into the community, and her exposure could ruin her life. Reluctantly, Efua agreed to Ama's terms, fearing for her family's safety. Kwesi, oblivious to the coercion, was pleased with Ama's choice and proceeded with the marriage arrangements. Weeks went by and the household adjusted to its new rhythm, but the strain between Ama and Efua was palpable. As fate would have it, 2 months after Efua's marriage to Kwesi, Ama fell gravely ill. The village healer, after visiting her, gave her unexpected news.
Congratulations, Ama. You are with child.
The joy was overwhelming, but so was her regret for having forced Efua into their marriage. Ama decided it was time to rectify her mistake. She approached Efua with a proposition to dissolve the marriage. However, before she could speak, the healer arrived with news that shattered her plan. Efua was also expecting. The news fueled fierce jealousy and rivalry between the two women. To help manage their growing household, Ama decided to hire a house helper named Akosua to care for the house since they were pregnant. Unbeknownst to both women, Akosua also hailed from the lineage of the tabooed ones, just like Efua. She had been living under a false identity, much like Efua's family had before their secret was exposed. When Akosua first arrived, Efua felt a strange sense of familiarity. One evening, as they prepared dinner together, Efua noticed the way Akosua moved, the subtle signs of a shared heritage.
"Your family? Were they from the northern part of the Volta?"
Efua asked cautiously. Akosua paused, a flicker of fear passing through her eyes, before she nodded slowly.
"Yes, but we left long ago,"
she whispered, her voice a mixture of defiance and fear. As both women eventually bore sons a day apart, Ama's health continued to deteriorate, and she was unable to care for her son. Efua, overwhelmed by her newborn and the tensions within the home, relied heavily on Akosua. One night, burdened by the legacy of her cursed lineage and fearing that Efua's child would suffer as she had, Akosua made a fateful decision. Believing she was protecting the child from a life of hardship and prejudice, she switched the babies. She hoped that by giving Efua's son the identity of Ama's child, he would escape the fate that seemed destined for those of the tabooed lineage. The next morning, feeling the weight of her actions, Akosua confessed to Efua in a moment of desperation.
I have switched the babies. I did it to protect your son from the fate that haunts our lineage.
Shocked and torn, Efua faced a moral dilemma. She chose to keep the secret, a decision that bound her and Akosua in a pact of silence, driven by a shared past and a hopeful future for the children. Despite Ama's harsh feelings towards Kwabena, whom she believed was not her biological son, the bond between the two boys, Kwame and Kwabena, blossomed against all odds. Ama, driven by her misdirected frustrations, often pushed Kwabena away, preventing him from joining in family activities and constantly comparing him unfavorably to Kwame. She would impose stricter rules on Kwabena and was less forgiving of his mischief, creating a clear divide within the household. However, the boys, united by their childhood innocence and unaware of the deep secrets shadowing their birth, found happiness and companionship in each other. They created their world filled with adventures and games known only to them. Every day, they came up with clever ways to dodge Ama's restrictions, sneaking off to the mango groves behind their house or under the pretext of fetching water from the village well. Their laughter and whispered plans became the soundtrack of their secret meetings, strengthening a brotherhood that defied the barriers Ama tried to create between them. Efua, meanwhile, loved both boys equally with a heart that knew no bounds. She cared for them both with equal passion. To her, both were her sons, deserving of all the love and protection she could give. Her steadfast commitment to their well-being often mitigated the impact of Ama's indifference towards Kwabena, ensuring he never felt completely devoid of maternal warmth. Years passed, and the boys grew up as brothers, albeit under the shadow of their mother's tumultuous relationship. When Kwesi passed away, his will, which divided his wealth equally between his sons, unveiled yet another layer of discord. Ama, weakened and embittered, treated Efua with disdain, a reflection of her unresolved guilt and regret. The chaos began when a charismatic foreigner, Joseph, arrived in town. He was taken by the beauty and grace of Ama's son, Kwame, and sought his hand in marriage for his daughter. Ama, seeing an opportunity for her son to move abroad, gloated incessantly at Efua, whose son, Kwabena, she deemed unworthy of such fortune. On the day Joseph and his daughter came to finalize the wedding plans, Efua, overwhelmed by years of humiliation and fear, revealed a staggering truth to Ama in private.
Kwame is not your son. I switched the babies. I did it so my child could escape the curse of our past.
Ama was devastated. She confronted Joseph with the truth, urging him to reconsider. But Joseph, impressed by Kwame's character, decided the marriage would proceed regardless of lineage. The revelation, however, tore the community apart, leading to a reevaluation of old prejudices and the role of fate in their lives. Efua, seeking redemption, left the village to live out her days in solitude, while Ama struggled to rebuild her relationship with Kwabena, her true son, who had grown to embody the virtues of both his biological and his adopted mothers. The tale of Ama and Kwesi serves as a reminder of the complexities of human desires and the unintended consequences of our actions, echoing the wisdom of the Akan proverb, The ruin of a nation begins in the homes of its people. What do you think happened to Akosua, the house help who switched the kids? The end. Thanks for watching.